So I'm here this afternoon with Sara from Kaluza. Sara, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Going straight into it, obviously the event today is about the energy transition. And what do you think are some of the biggest challenges and what can we do to accelerate the energy transition?
Right, I think it's accelerating. And I think there are certain factors that's making it accelerate even faster than we probably thought. So I think it's actually positive in many ways. Depends on what we're considering. There's some pluses and there's some minuses right now. I think talking a lot about AI and data centers and things like that. Use of AI we know is not benefiting the energy transition. We know there's a footprint and an aspect of that is potentially damaging. But I think on the flip side, if we're optimistic about it, I think the constraint on the grid from a capacity perspective will speed up electrification. I think that in order to balance and in order to distribute differently, we need to start self-generating energy in our homes. And I think that acceleration will happen faster. So I think what we need to be doing is thinking about fast tracking a little bit through strategy and simulations on what does that world look like and what kind of technology do we need and how do we support customers to do it, because we still know that flex products and adoption is fairly low. It has not reached mass adoption yet, and I don't think energy retailers specifically have necessarily invested in that area enough. If it accelerated really fast, I think we would find ourselves in a little bit of a gap. So investing in the technology ahead of time is probably one of the things we need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned AI, and what role do you think that can play in you talked about the negative elements of AI, but what positive elements are there? What role can AI play in accelerating the changes we need?
So we talk a lot about this at work. So we're a technology company, we're 800 engineers, people. And actually, there are some camps. There are people that don't feel good about using AI at all because of the climate impact. And we are a mission-led company. We have a very much a clear goal. We're there to drive and accelerate net zero. But I think the debate we're having internally on the side that I very clearly stand for is that we need to go faster. And AI is allowing us to move so much faster, not just a little bit, like incrementally faster, but that speed gets us to our goal faster, and that's the ultimate outcome that we should be looking for. There's going to be some incremental setbacks in certain areas, but AI's biggest value right now is that it creates efficiency, it creates speed, and we can do more than we could do before. So that's the main thing for me.
Absolutely. So obviously, Kaluza, you're working with energy retailers globally. What role are you? How are you helping your customers to make that transition and to transition to a more net zero world?
Yeah, exactly. So I think our role, and this is something that I think gets confused a little bit. We're not the energy company. We're not the ones that can actually impact. All we can do is enable our customers to help their customers to do it. So we have this role of an enabler, and as a technology provider to these companies, we need to make it easier. That's our number one objective, should be make it easier and help them solve problems before they realize it themselves. So I think from our perspective, us going faster, us being able to build product faster, us being able to solve their problems ahead of them coming up is the role that we should play. The other thing is, we know from customers, you probably heard NG earlier today speaking about there's so many elements of their work that they need to worry about. It's so much complexity, especially larger retailers that do more of the beyond just retail work. And we need to be able to simplify their work. So if we can consolidate some of the work, for instance, with Flex as an example, Flex retail is one aspect, but there's so much more to Flex. And the ask that we hear from them is, please, can you take more of it? Can you simplify it so we have one provider or less providers? And it's easier for us to manage. It's not that they don't want to work with more companies. It's more contracts, more admin, more systems, different workflows, different trainings and enablement. So simplifying and streamlining work is, I think, the biggest impact we can make for our customers.
Okay, thank you. Obviously, we're here at FOU today.
Yeah.
You've been speaking on the big stage.
Yeah.
Your colleagues have been speaking. What value do you find in events like this?
I'm a mixed bag around conferences. I don't love conferences generally, but I think conferences have changed. Even in the last year, my own opinion of them have changed. I think this one in particular, I was just telling the organizers, I think they've done a really good job with this one. I think it's been super good. And I think the biggest value is the connection, the human connection. And now with AI and more digital content coming out, and we're producing more, and it's content everywhere, video, all forms. We're going to crave more and more human, authentic relationships and connections. And one of the strategies we did with our booth this year is that we don't have screens, we don't have any demos, we don't have any, because we want people to speak to us.
Yeah.
And if you want to know what we do, talk to us, right? And I think that's what we want from everyone else. We just want to engage, we want to connect, we want to have fun, we want to make relationships. And that's always been the case, but I think we need it more now than ever.
I'd agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sara.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So